Hi, messes. Welcome back to She's Speaking. I have a friend today. You probably know him from Beyond the Blinds. I know him as one of my favorite people ever in real life who I've actually seen, not just through a screen. Troy McKeady is here.
Oh my God. I am so happy to be back.
I love it. I love it. Troy and I went and had dinner because Troy is now like slightly bi-coastal, which is
Yeah.
so chic and amazing. So we had dinner and just gabbed and gabbed about all of these shows anyway. So I'm actually I'm excited to hear what your takes are because right as we were logging on, he said that he has to pull up the cast because he kind of just doesn't even retain all of their faces and names because he hates them all but also loves the show. So I'm curious. How do you feel? This is very important to me. How do you feel about
Mhm.
Zach?
I like Zach.
Okay, good. Yes, that's my only.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I just enjoy him way too much.
And I like his place in the show. Like he adds levity. He's funny. I think that he's the closest thing we have to like a Greek chorus. Like he's our voice, right?
Right?
Yeah,
Yes, I
for
like him
sure.
a lot. I'm sure Brittany, you have obvious like Brittany from our years of Vanderpump Rules. You have thoughts on Brittany. This was not Brittany's best moment either. Where at the end of last episode, she's like getting upset about Nia not saying Danny's drunk and whatever. I have to say, I knew even last week. I'm sure I know I said it on the pod they were just wasted at this point that they were getting
Yeah.
in this huge fight. Like I could see it in all of their eyes. Like you've been drinking wine all day. Wine tasting will fuck a bitch up.
Yeah.
So because I was like, this just feels like they're not totally making sense. And then even though Kristen was showing like voice of reason moments, she was still wasted too. She's
Yeah.
like, like you could hear her like slurring. So I was just like, this is going to just be an absolute disaster. But you have to just watch Zach in this fight because Zach's reaction to everyone, like he's having just the funniest. He's trying to because he started it. Like he went in and told Nia that they were all talking about her and Danny and
Yeah.
whatever. So then he realizes quickly, like, I made a mistake. Like I shouldn't have done that. Because Nia's like, let's go talk about it. He's like, okay, wait, yes, wait,
Yeah.
hold on.
He's like, you mean like now?
Okay, hold like he's like, and then he like looked at the camera at one point. He's like, shit, okay, the cameras are definitely getting this. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But he realizes he threw Brittany under the bus, and I feel like that was partly a little bit revenge because of
Hmm.
finding out that, Brittany told Janet what he said. And I was like, I'm not mad at it.
Hmm.
But he's trying to be like rational. He's like, remember the times you protected Jax? And
Hmm.
Jasmine is too drunk at this point. Now, Jasmine, I have been kind of protective of Jasmine. She's the one black woman on the show. And I'm like, I'm not going to be hating on the one black woman on a cast because that just feels wrong. But I am baffled a little bit by Jasmine, just a bit, because she's like, there's an attachment to Janet. Like Janet is very much like the queen bee of this very small little subgroup in the group.
Hmm.
And I can't understand exactly what it is. She reminds me, Janet reminds me energetically of this girl I was in high school with who was such a bitch. And like, first I left the group because of Stephanie Sorgani. That's right. First and last name.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's a bitchy name too.
It
Oh
is.
yeah.
Oh, and she was such a bitch. And then I left the group and then found out like a couple months later, they all just ditched Stephanie because she was like just mean and got everyone against each other and created like
Hmm.
infighting. And that's how
Hmm.
Janet feels to me, where she just like, she's the leader of who they're mad at.
For sure. And they have like there's an awareness that they have like a weird attachment to her. There's a
Hmm.
loyalty to her. Like the hierarchy has just always been that she's like at the top and like especially with the girls, you know.
And I find that so odd.
It is really odd. I feel like this to me it feels like one of those things where sometimes like a group of people that have always known each other will go on a show and then
Mm.
it's like lifting up a rock that hasn't been lifted in forever and like
Oh,
the
yeah.
bugs start scattering and things are weird and like it's dismantled. I feel like that was this group. Like they maybe didn't realize that Janet was just like the queen ant that gets like carried around, especially when she was pregnant season one.
That's a good point. I don't think because like Jasmine just seems like she'd be stronger against Janet, but there's such an
Hmm.
attachment to Janet and to Brittany, but like that's sort of the same sort of thing. And Zach, who is Jasmine's bestie, like they are bestie soul sisters, love
Hmm.
each other. but he's on under Janet's spell because I did talk about this already on the pod, I know, but like it's because Janet and Zach are my favorite kind of nemesis duo is a straight woman and a gay man who hate each other. Like it's just one of the funniest feuds that can erupt, and that's what Janet and Zach have been to each other. Zach
Yeah.
was Jasmine's roommate in the apartment building that they all lived in together, and Janet hated Zach but loved Jasmine.
Hmm.
And you know that Zach hated Janet because Janet is like, like, so they just will never have that attachment. But Jasmine, for some reason, got all attached to Janet. And
Well,
ah,
I'll also say I agree that that's one of my favorite dynamics is like a gay man and a straight woman who see through each other's bullshit and they just can't unsee it.
yep,
So no matter what the formula of the group is, they're
yep.
always opposite, staring at each other like I'm never gonna fuck with you and you're never gonna fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like he sees all of her white lady bullshit.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And she sees his messiness
Uh-huh.
and they see it too much. You see each other.
I have a hard time with Zach. Like, I would not be able to like take Zach seriously ever because even when Zach is like crying and upset, I find him funny. Like
Yeah.
when he was like, Nia, can you come over here and hold my hand? While he
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
fighting with Janet. I'm like, you're so ridiculous that like I would just be cracking up. And even in this scene, he's not trying to be funny. He's actually trying to like help. But when
Mhm.
when Danny comes in, because Danny wakes up from his slumber, you hear them like, oh no, Danny's awake. Like they're all like, oh dear. And it's truly the worst thing that could happen right now. Like, Danny, do not walk in this room. Please don't. But Zach is just like there. He's like, okay, Danny is here. Okay, Brittany, no, Brittany, stop. Okay, wait, everybody, but no one's listening to him. He's like trying to somehow regulate it, but he's like reacting, and no one like Britt will be like, just don't hide things. And Zach is like, okay, yeah, don't hide things. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
hide things. And then like Nia will be like, go to the kitchen. And he's like, yes, go to the kitchen. Everyone go to the kitchen. But like he's not actually no one's really paying attention. But I would be in the corner of that room cracking up at just Zach. Like I would be forgetting that this is a serious moment and just be like, just watch Zach, you guys. Just watch Zach.
He's like trying to get ahead of it in any way possible, and it's just like it's not physically possible for that to happen. And I also love, even though she rubs me the wrong way and she always has, and I've mostly had vitriol for her since I met her. Brittany kills me when she's in one of her passive aggressive spirals and she's just saying crazy shit. And the whole time she just kept saying, she like wouldn't directly look at anybody,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
She's like looking up at the sky and she's just
Yes.
saying, like, it's just funny. I put my whole life out there, nobody else says. It's just funny. It's just funny. It's just funny. It's like, oh my God. Like,
I'm glad you pointed out that she was saying it to no one. Like anytime she
literally.
would start to say, she would like talk up to the corner of the wall away from where Neo was even facing. And it's like, just say it. I'm showing my whole
Yeah.
entire life is here on these cameras. Yeah.
My head's going
Um,
through freaking rehab right now. You kidding me? It's just funny. It's just funny. It's just funny.
the tone in her voice, you can tell she was just drunk too. Like I
Yeah.
could hear it the way Jasmine was talking. Like, this is just alcohol. Like when you've been drinking wine all day long, like,
I would
oh
have been
yeah.
like, girl, don't try and put your love of an Us Weekly cover on me.
Ooh,
You girl, come on now.
ooh.
Let's not act like this is something that you're not truly rolling around in. Come on. Her and Jack's love press in a way that is it's so Heidi and Spencer coded at times. Like it's so like, oh, you know?
Oh, I didn't even think about Brittany liking the press too. I actually have only just thought of like Jax liking the press. But you're right. Brittany does too, doesn't she? Because now I'm also wondering with the rehab thing, because remember how the article came out and she's like, how do they have
Hmm.
so much information?
Hmm.
Someone had said, I think that was Jax who did it. And I was like, that actually I could believe.
Yeah,
Because
there's
it was
nothing
also
more
very
dark.
glowing. It was like
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like a nice version. It was like he's going to a mental health facility to deal with his
Yeah.
mental health. And we're like, okay, got it.
It's like retired male model Jax Taylor. Um, but no, there's nothing more dark than when a reality couple is like it's John and Kate at its core. It's like
Oh
you're
God.
fighting in the same magazines each week back and forth. It's so dark.
John and Kate, what a reference. Wow, that was dark. Okay, so now Danny and Nia, they go, they're in the room. I have to, now two things can be true at once, in my opinion. And
Hmm.
I do think that there is a relationship Danny has with alcohol that's a little uncomfortable, but Nia doesn't seem like she does shy away from it. She's telling him that they were all mad because I wasn't saying Daniel had too much to drink. That's why he's passed out. And Danny starts to say something, and she's like, no, no, you did have too much to drink. And he's like, why do you keep saying I had too much to drink? I had the same amount as everyone at the winery. Actually, I had less. Now, that's
Hmm.
when I knew, I'm like, so you did try to sneak that tequila then.
Yeah.
Because when he said I actually had less, I'm like, oh, you were, yeah. Then you were trying to hide it from Nia, and
Yeah,
so,
I'm sorry. Like, there's no world where that's not weird to go into the pantry and shut the door and drink from the
well,
liquor bottle. Like,
yeah,
come
it
on.
exactly. It's weird, but then also Jana has to take it so far that then I'm like, now I'm defending Danny.
Yeah,
It's
I
like the
know.
the
I
way
know.
Janet turned it into like this huge scandal. Now I can't tell what it is that you want out of that situation because meanwhile she's in there being like, so I saw him sneaking the tequila, and they're like, oh my god. And what's interesting is that they in a preview, you know how they put out like the first 7 minutes of an episode sometimes
Hmm.
before the
Hmm.
episode comes out. In that preview, they show Janet's confessional here, and she says that Nia is in Al-Anon because of Danny. I believe she says because of Danny.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is so fucked up because, like, that's all anonymous. That is not for her to share. Like, what are you doing? But I didn't see the preview. So in the actual episode, it wasn't in there. So I didn't even know that happened. And people were in the comments like, what about when she outed her for the Al Anon thing? And I'm like, I don't know where that was or how did I miss that? Then when Janet went on Watch What Happens Live, D- Andy asks about that. Like, do you regret bringing up the Al Anon thing? And a bunch of us were still like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I didn't see it. Well, the preview for it had it. So a bunch of people posted, like, here's the original one. So there is Janet in that damn confessional being like, yeah, I know that she's an Al Anon. Now, here's the thing, too,
Oh
bitch.
my God.
It's not just that it's anonymous, fine, that she shouldn't have done it for that. But like, how do you know it's for Danny? Did she say I'm in it because Danny is an alcoholic? Could have been for an ex, could have been for
Yeah.
her family.
Her
I don't know.
family,
It could have been for anybody, but like now that you've put that spin on it, uh girl, girl.
especially knowing her childhood and how she grew up, like, it literally could be anyone. Like, you see, Janet has that, like, and that's the thing that at the core, that is what people don't like about her, right?
Mhm.
She has that mischievous white lady
White
thing
lady thing.
about her where, like, you look at her and you picture, like, if this was, 50 years ago, she's the person who would say, like, this man was rude to me, you should kill him. Like, she's got that vibe of, like, the like crazy white lady that you have to be careful of because she's like messy.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes. And then Janet offers, which as a reality TV viewer, we know what this is. She says to the girls, minus Kristen, she says, we also need to be like, if you're going through stuff with Danny's drinking, we're here for
Hmm.
you. I'm like, oh no, you're not going to fucking say that to her because
Yeah.
we know what that is. When you start to
Hmm.
say we should offer help for Danny, I'm like, okay, for what? So what you're doing is first accusing Danny of having an issue with drinking, which is not up to you to say in that capacity, but you're
Hmm.
cloaking it with this, we're here to help. We know what
Well,
that is. We know
I
it.
want to ask you how do you feel about, like, I guess just like the way that Danny and like the way that they do sort of like sugarcoat their relationship and stuff, and like the way that they obsessively kind of present it in this certain way. Like,
Barely.
what do you think that, like, what do you feel about all of that?
So I do think that Danny has a relationship with alcohol that Nia doesn't like because in the after show, when asked if they discuss his drinking, if his drinking has ever been like a topic, um, what Danny says is that there have been times, he's like, if I ever feel like it's getting out of hand, or if Nia says she's having a problem with it, I'll stop for months on end. And then I'll, start drinking here and there socially or whatever, a nightcap or whatever. I'm like, I still think that you having to stop for months on end
Hmm.
is still you not examining that there's like a relationship here with alcohol. I don't think he's an alcoholic because that's a
Hmm.
term that's unnecessarily aggressive and like it's a self-diagnosed term anyway. But I think that he does have some sort of a thing with the drinking that Nia would probably like to talk more openly about.
Hmm.
But because Danny doesn't want to talk openly about it, she's in a position. That's why you see her being like, I'm not afraid to have this conversation with you on camera. Danny's the one who seems scared of it.
Yeah.
So what I would have said like I didn't know how this season was going to play out. So last season when it was clear they would try to present all perfect and they were coming back again, I'm like if they don't have a season where they get not exposed but like they have to open up more and they have to talk about the stuff, then they probably just shouldn't do reality TV because if they're
Hmm.
trying to be so respectful of each other, which in a healthy normal world, not on reality TV, is what it should be. But when you do join reality TV, the rules change and like what
Yeah.
is cool is not the same as if you were just living your life normally without cameras, right? It's just the rule. If you're going to come on the show, we're going to see stuff, we're not going to be able to ask you guys about it. But the way Nia has handled it, I was like, okay, so I think what we're seeing is if they had said to her there at the table when she was like, he's just really tired, he worked all day, whatever, if they had been like, and he also drank a bottle of wine when he got here, I want to see what she would have done. She claims that she would have been like, yeah, he was drunk, but
Right.
they didn't even try to give her that opportunity.
Yeah, I agree with it. I feel like your point is proven by his reaction to the conversation. Like he was so weird. And like
Yeah.
even when he did like that weird like huh,
Uh,
and she's like, all right, now you're doing your weird like, divert attention laugh. Like that was a weird fake trauma laugh. Like clearly you're not actually ready to talk about this. Like it bothers you maybe more than you realize. And he's like, no, I'm totally fine. I just it's like you're uncomfortable and that's okay. Like it did strike a weird thing where it's like I agree. I feel like she would probably be more comfortable talking about it if he wasn't so uncomfortable. I will also say I loved, and I always feel like this. This is like such a Bravo trope that I love. Like I love when a person on Bravo gets confronted and then they trauma dump like their childhood. When it's like you were rude to me at this party yesterday, and they'll be like, "Have I told you about my childhood?"
oh,
You know
that's
what
how
I mean?
you viewed it? You viewed it as her like trying to get out of it?
Not really trying to get out of it, but it's the Bravo way of being like of dealing with stuff is to like share, like, and it's
Oh,
like,
very much, very much. It'll
you
like
know,
it's like and then it's always when they break down that they're like everyone else is like this is what we really wanted to see. We just really
yeah, yeah,
wanted they
yeah,
always
yeah,
say
yeah.
that. I'm like we have to
Yes,
they always say that at the end like this now seeing you break down and be in tears was what we were
yes.
looking for.
They always say that, whether it's Housewives, it could be Summer House, like it's like a Bravo trope where they're like if we had known, like none of this would have ever happened.
Yep.
But then after they walk this weird line where it's like, now you shared your deepest, darkest. We can't confront you now because
Oh
you're
wow,
gonna look
okay.
horrible if we confront you after you tell us that you had this really tough upbringing. So they're still kind of arguing, but like not like Jasmine was like, yeah, like basically my point was it's like we're still not like you telling us about your childhood wasn't the answer to this thing.
Okay,
Like,
so I had a different take on it. I'm going to take you through. This was the journey
okay,
I thought we went through with her. I thought
okay.
that when they got there, um Brittany apologizes for, she's like, it came out wrong. I was too drunk, shouldn't have done that. And which was, I also thought funny. I'm like, you're sitting there blaming alcohol.
I know.
You're then about to confront her about how her husband maybe drinks too much. And it was like, okay, we're not kind of, okay. That right there just felt a little weird.
Yeah.
But, when Nia answered, because Jasmine brings up what happened with her and what happened with Melissa that night at Jax's bar on Halloween, and I thought Nia was like, "Yeah, we had to work through it." Like, and she opened up about how they were in therapy and how it was a process and whatever. And then Michelle is like, "Wow, we never would have known that because you just present like everything is so perfect." And that's why she was like, "Well." I mean, you don't know this about me. And I thought what she was doing was kind of saying, like, I probably do that. Like this is how I grew up and what I went through. And none of you even knew this about me. And it's a huge thing about me, but I just don't talk about it. So I felt like she was explaining like, almost in a way like, so I'm probably going to hide more shit. So I'm probably not gonna always just like tell you guys like the raw nitty gritty. Um,
Mhm.
and from there I could have been like, okay, but now thank you, Nia. But just so you know, like, it can't we want to hear about it then because it.
Mhm.
Then I felt like what happened was Jasmine. I don't know if Jasmine has had conversations off camera that we're not privy to, but it feels like she hasn't felt validated enough in what her experience was. And it's getting lost in the rest of all of it because like now Janet has taken over and is like, great, thanks a lot for that, Nia. That was super manipulative of her. Now we don't get to ask her about it. And acting like Janet is a personal victim of Danny's drinking. I'm like, the pantry incident is not enough for me to loop you in there or lump you in there with like Jasmine. But like, again, if the Jasmine story is bad, but if that's the only story they have about Danny and his drinking, that's that bad. I mean, yeah, was he annoying and drunk last season? Yeah, but that he wasn't it wasn't great, but it wasn't like going and groping people. So if what he did to Jasmine and Melissa is the only example Jasmine or Janet has, she needs to shut the fuck up because she's acting
Right.
like he's like this repeat offender. And when you start to take it all the way to this place, I'm like, well, now I'm defensive over people that in general with Nia and Danny, it does annoy me when people are like pretending to be perfect, but we're seeing them get forced to talk about it. And so I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, if this will open them up and make them talk, then I'm okay with it because I still think Nia is a sweetheart, and I do think that having the kids and moving to Santa Claus, I'm like all of that can be a part of it. I don't mind; it's fine. Um, but now Janet has turned this into like when she wasn't relating to Nia in a way that wasn't going to be a bit accusatory. So when she's like, also, just so you know, if you ever have problems with Danny's drinking, you can come to us. You can lean on us. I had a relationship with someone who had a drug and alcohol problem. And so and I don't blame Nia for being like, hold, this is on fucking camera. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, like, "Bitch, how dare you?" Like, you're, like,
You're not
making it
offering help.
definitive.
Yes. And you're comparing it to that. And I feel like Jasmine is trying to still talk about what happened to her.
Mhm.
And that's getting lost because she's just kind of getting sucked into what Janet's doing. I'm like, Janet, you have nothing
Exactly.
to do with this. Honestly,
Yeah.
like, I'm so sorry that the pantry thing was uncomfortable for you, but I think Jasmine needs to feel heard and understood. And I'm assuming a conversation with Danny is going to be coming up at some point, even though
Mhm.
they already like had one. But it's like, it's not up to Jasmine to honor what happened as much as it is maybe Danny's responsibility to really make it clear that he is sorry and he should have not done that because I don't think he's done that enough
Yeah.
for her to feel good about it. So now Jasmine, who had an issue that could have been resolved, now Janet's got her claws in it. And I feel like I want to defend Nia from it because I was like, she was explaining that like she's going to present like a perfect pageant girl because this is just what she's been taught to do and how she's survived her whole life. So
Right.
this is what you're going to get out of her is what she was kind of saying. Like, this is who I am. This is how I have to be.
Yeah.
And that we can
Yeah.
work with. I'm fine with that. But then Jasmine not being able to then voice, like, if Jasmine maybe had that conversation with Nia by themselves and was like, I feel like Danny never really gave me enough respect about that. And I feel like Nia would make sure that shit was handled.
Mhm.
And I do think
Yeah.
Danny's like avoiding it. And even in his retelling of the story on the after show, he was like, I didn't know. I thought it was Michelle. I didn't know it was Jasmine. So I first apologized to Jesse. But Jesse was like, oh, Michelle wasn't even there. And I'm like, okay, but did you ever talk to Jasmine?
Right.
And if you did, clearly it wasn't enough. And when she talked to you at Brittany's party, he didn't seem like he really wanted to apologize. Maybe it seemed like he was kind of, because he says I was so thrown off because we'd already had this conversation, but he thought the cameras were up, so now Jasmine was just trying to make a storyline.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I do think that, I think that Nia was being, like, 100% genuine. Like, I really think that In her mind, she was like, all right, I got to tell these people this because
Yeah.
at least it'll help like fill in maybe some of the blank space, like, or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I just think like with reality in general, but specifically on Bravo, it's like sharing is like your superpower. Like
Yeah.
it's your get out of jail card. Like is to like share your trauma in a moment where everybody is like pointing their finger at you. You know, like it's kind of
It's
and
like
there's
when
some
Bronwyn, it's like Bronwyn on Salt Lake City when she was looking for the
yes,
boat and she had that like
yeah,
trauma dump moment.
and like sometimes it's extremely effective like that, like where it's like, damn, like perfect timing, perfect story, like how could you not be endeared to this woman after hearing that, you
Totally.
know? Sometimes it's clunky, sometimes it doesn't work. And I felt like with Nia, like that was a great moment and it did work and it did explain a lot of her thought process. I just feel like, yeah, Janet made it like a weird because Janet can't help but make it about her.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to make this pantry thing like a part of it because you want to be in it. You know what I mean? For one thing. And also, yeah, like it's like from Jasmine's perspective, it's like that is all really sad and I love you and care about you and I hate that you went through that.
Yes.
But back to your husband squeezing my ass.
Yes.
Like you can't trauma dump and then have everybody be like, "All right, well, now there's nothing more to be said." They immediately had more to say. It just made it weird to say it because now you've just explained all of this really sad stuff from your childhood, but it doesn't explain why it's okay that your husband like harassed us and like we're not comfortable with his drinking. We're making that clear to you. You know what I mean?
Do you watch the after show?
No.
It's you're not going to like to hear this, but you're sounding just like Janet in the after show. Like
Ugh.
almost quoting Janet.
Ugh.
She's the one who's touting that message. Like, great, thanks for telling us about your trauma, but now we can't tell you that your husband is a bad and I'm like, oh my God, Troy, you are quoting Janet.
No, no, not quoting Janet. No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, like right after you could see it, Jasmine was like, "Okay,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
well, we love you."
Yeah, and that's
I,
what
it's,
that's why I feel bad for Jasmine. I'm like,
yeah,
Jasmine is getting lost in this shuffle because Janet is taking up this task like it's her fight. Like
yeah,
the even so in that last scene, you get like Danny and Nia talking and then Jason and Janet talking about what happened. And I'm waiting for Janet to come up with something besides Jasmine. She's
hmm
like, you know, I mean, look what he's done to Jasmine and her relationship. I'm like, and you need one more example, or
yeah.
else
It's the
it's
only,
gonna.
it's all she's got. It's all
I'm
she's
like,
got
because
to
it's
make it about her.
this is so because she's and then it's like, and then the drinking in the pantry. I don't think I understand maybe the dynamics of this group because I will say, in because at first I was like, yeah, it's totally fucking weird that he was going into the closet to take a swig of alcohol.
Hmm.
But they all were like, the more I thought about it, I'm like, I guess they all really were like around and drinking. And like Jesse's been drinking since like 8 in the morning, had a glass of wine in his hand.
Hmm.
That like Janet being so offended by it. It just seems so I'm like, how close are you all as friends, really? Because it just like, if that happened to me, I probably would have been like, ew, you're drinking that from the bottle? Warm?
See, that's why I think she's such a dangerous person to be friends with. Because it's like, are
Right?
you even really not offended by that, or are you just looking to kick up some dirt? Like, are you just bored? Because you never know with her, and it's like,
Okay,
ew, what a weird, gross
here is my
quality.
theory. This is my theory. Okay. Last season, you know, Janet obviously had a bad season, right? So Janet goes on Sheena's podcast and, you know, Sheena knows a thing or two about a bad season. So Sheena was like kind of trying to comfort Janet. And she was saying that they can't give you two bad seasons in a row, which I thought was hilarious. I'm like, Sheena, you've definitely had two bad seasons in a row.
You've only had bad seasons, but go on, sis, go
I'm
on.
like, okay. Um, but she said they both start talking about how Danny's drinking didn't come up during the season, but I bet it'll come up again because his drinking is a problem. You see a little bit of it, but you don't see a lot of it and whatever. And I thought, oh, that's gotten planted in Janet's head.
Mm.
where she's like,
Oh,
I'm going to make sure that this does come out because it's only fair. And then Janet turns it into like she's probably pretending in her even to herself. She's like, this is because Britt has to show her life and they don't have to show theirs. It's not fair. And this is because Jasmine felt uncomfortable. And I'm like, Janet, admit it's because you were the bad guy last season
hmm,
and you're going to do that thing that most villains do where they try to expose someone else, but
of
end up
course,
looking
yeah,
like they end up looking like the villain in the process.
yeah. And what they do is like they'll grasp at something that feels easy to like
Yes.
manipulate. Like it's always, they have a drinking problem. I really
Always.
feel like they have a drinking problem because it's like it's like low hanging fruit. I mean,
Uh-huh.
you're saying this on a show where last year Brittany was like pouring or tequila into an ulcer. Like she literally was pouring straight liquor into an ulcer inside her stomach. Like, how, you know what I mean? Like, do you really care that deeply? I highly fucking doubt it. And I also just think Danny's like a weirdo. Like, I just
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
he's a weird
Yeah.
guy. I'm not trying to excuse like he might have a drinking problem or whatever. We don't know, but he's also fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's just like a strange little weird garden gnome.
No, that's the thing. They're both like because also them being like uber religious adds like a
Yeah.
layer. But like Danny is he's weird in a way that's not like he's not harming anyone.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a harmless weird. However, Jasmine was affected by it. And I think that
Yeah.
it's fair to say that Jasmine felt like not enough attention was given to this because it happened to Jasmine. That's probably how she feels,
Yep.
right? It happened to Jasmine and the lesbians. You know,
Yep.
they don't care. They don't care. And that's why Jasmine even says, as women in love with each other, we know that we're fetishized, we're kind of like disregarded. And so I
Hmm.
feel like for those, and also Jasmine is the black person on the show.
Hmm.
So that's got all these have to play a part. And so I still want to make space for Jasmine to want more of an acknowledgement because she does deserve that. If that's how she felt. And I know I see a lot of people saying, oh, Jasmine making such a big deal out of it. It's no big deal. But I think maybe it was Jasmine who said this, but like imagine if like it was Jesse and Michelle and they were still together and like one of the guys came in and like Jason came in all drunk and like to go give daddy a drink and Michelle didn't like it, it would be a whole thing. When I tell you I now have the chicest sneaker known to man, I'm talking about the Vionic Monarch sneaker. I got the one with the leopard print accent. There's also mesh detailing on the side. There's a perfect pop of black. These sneakers are so chic, I don't need them to be comfortable because pain is beauty. But that's the best part is these are Vionic sneakers. And all Vionic shoes come with their Vio Motion technology. Vionic began by revolutionizing medical orthotics, and they have engineered better performing shoes. Whenever I wear Vionic shoes, my knees hurt less, my ankles hurt less, my hips hurt less, and my feet don't really hurt at all, which I don't think I've ever experienced in life. I'm so mad I didn't know about Vionic shoes when I was still in the restaurant business. I now own the Uptown Willa, which is part sneaker, part moccasin, very streamlined. I have the Uptown Loafer, which is part loafer, part sneaker. And now I have the Monarch. And you know what? Vionic also makes slides, sandals, heels, platforms, boots. I'm tempted to try them out. Every Vionic shoe I currently own feels great. So I bet the heels would too. And I haven't met a heel I liked in decades. All right, so here's the deal. Go to vionicshoes.com and use code SHESPEAKS at checkout because you will get 15% off your entire order when you log into your account, one-time use only. So vionicshoes.com, code SHESPEAKS, 15% off. Vionic shoes are wearable well-being for your feet.
It would be a whole thing. And all she wants is a little acknowledgement. And I think that that's where that conversation got like weird because it's like, because it's like, so am I now not supposed to press this
Yeah.
because you just started crying? Like,
Well, I think she thought she did already talk about it because she says, in the top of the conversation on the top of the conversation, she does say like, it's a little triggering having Danny get so drunk because of what happened with me on Halloween with Melissa. And
Hmm.
that's when Nia says, "Oh, well, yes, no, that we had to work through that. Danny and I, that was not an easy thing to we didn't just get over it." And then her confessional talks more about how like, yeah, you can't just ignore that. We had to work through it, blah, blah, blah. So I thought that it seemed like maybe Jasmine was going to get as much as she could get out of Nia about it,
Hmm.
in a group setting, at least. Like it's
Yeah.
okay. I think I'm assuming that a conversation between Jasmine and Danny is coming up because she says Jasmine says in a confessional, clearly I'm not over it, and clearly I need to have another conversation with Danny. So I'm expecting one to arise here soon, and he better come correct because
Yeah.
it is great. If it made her feel weird, if they don't, they must not know Danny the way they know the rest of them. Because like in most groups of friends, like I could imagine one of them being like, "Go get daddy a drink," and it not being that big of a deal because they all
Mhm.
seem like drunk assholes. But
Right.
Danny and Nia are like the newest to the group,
Right.
and I think Danny is like the one that they don't really get the most.
Yeah.
Like Nia's obviously very sweet and loving, and like that's her role. But they like the women maybe just don't understand Danny's vibe. Well, although Jason and Janet are so like they coincide with their thoughts a lot. How do you feel about Jason? Actually, that's a valid question.
I think that Jason is a really great neutral. Like he's just such a nice, even keel, neutral person who is not like he doesn't how do I say this? Like he'll fall on the side of like what he truly believes is right and wrong.
Yes, yes,
Do you know what I mean? Like he's not a star. He's not a reality star, you know. He's
and you're
never.
right. He knows that, and he knows his place.
Yeah, he knows. He's not trying to peacock. Like he knows that he's sort of an he's part of an ensemble and he's maybe one of the lower entertaining people in this ensemble cast. But when it comes to like voicing his opinion, sticking up for the person that he thinks is right, like even if I don't agree, he truly is coming from an honest place, I feel.
Yeah. Did you watch them on Watch What Happens Live? Because it was Janet and Jason on Watch What Happens Live.
I saw clips, but I didn't see the full episode.
Yeah. So I feel like at some point Jason who had a more neutral stance, but I feel like on Watch What Happens Live, he knows now like I've got to just lean into whatever Janet says because he doesn't want Janet to feel like he's not got her back. Because
Okay.
because he goes up for pretty much whatever Janet is saying, and I'm like, I don't even know, like what Janet experienced, quote unquote, with Danny was not something that's worthy of like her wanting to expose him. If if Jasmine's not on the path of destruction for Danny, then like Janet can chill out. Is kind of the thing. But I feel like now
Yeah.
Jason has to kind of jump on it because the next week we see that Jason and Danny are going to be getting into it because Jason's going to bring it up and Danny's going to get mad. And so I feel like Jason tried as he might, he tried to stay out and stay neutral and be like kind of bird's eye view. But Janet really like stuck her foot in it. Like she's like, "Oh,
Of
I'm
course.
here, 10 toes in, I'm in it." Oh my God, the polls ate her up. It was so funny because like everything would be like, "Do you agree with Janet or, the other person's take?" And it was like 98% agree with the other person. Like Janet just got destroyed in there. But she kept talking about the closet or the pantry incident. Like it was this, I kind of wish that by now, in hindsight, she could be like, honestly, it probably wasn't that big of a deal. It just was that coupled with whatever. But she's still like, yeah, like he walked in and he took like three glugs from warm tequila, warm from the bottom. And we're like, yeah, we hear it. But like, I've partied with people who drink warm tequila. Like, it's just, you're trying to sell this like it was an incident, and it's just not an incident.
And maybe he just didn't want to be on camera glugging from the bottle.
Yeah.
Like he just wanted to come out of the pantry and have had his shot. And
Yeah.
it just, like it's not like she just can't help herself. She
Exactly.
literally can't help herself. God, she's so unbearable.
No, she has not an ounce of a sense of humor. Like there's no levity to anything. Like there's
No.
nothing fun about her. And I was talking to Kendrick about it on a Sunday. He was like, her one thing is the Dave and Buster's thing. And then I thought about it more. I'm like, the Dave and Buster's thing, she isn't even fun about. Because when she was
No.
at her birthday, she was like, I have a fanny pack and I have my tokens and I go around and like people were trying to talk to her and she's like, I'm playing my game, leave me alone. I'm like, so you're not even fun at Dave and Buster's.
And it felt so like this is gonna be my David
Exactly.
Buster's episode, and I'm gonna really lean in. Like, I'm so sure that you go there and you run to the fucking thing
Yep.
into the prize room and you strategize. It's like this is not like I know that you what you think you're giving. It's not like you're not world building, babe. We don't care. Like we don't.
We don't want more. We're not like,
No.
show us more. Like, you're just kind of showing off that you are like, you're difficult.
Yeah, and like none of your bits work.
Like, everything turns into that. Yeah. And I could tell Andy was just like, oh God. Like, I have to, but I'm going to say maybe this is controversial. I see people saying left and right they want Janet off the show. I
Mm,
don't agree because I do think she is a good, like, sometimes when people just do everything so wrong, they
hmm.
are good for a show because like Janet's just going to keep naturally doing things that we're like, what are you doing, Janet?
No, we need her.
Yeah.
She's chaos. I saw one of my friends, he has an account called Tell the Bees, and he does a lot of like Bravo think pieces and stuff. And he was talking about how like when guys Andy's so funny because you can just tell when Andy likes people, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Like he's so clear about it. He like can't hide it. And like with the boys, even from like Summer House, like the Vanderpump Rules boys, he's just like so smitten, like head over
I
heels, just
know.
like, a puppy dog, like on its hind legs, like trying to get attention. But then when these guys come on that show, he is like he hates them. He hates the cast.
Like Jesse, when Jesse and Danny went on, they were on together. I could tell Andy was
Yeah.
like, I don't like Andy does not like Jesse, that's for sure. Jesse
No.
is not his cup of tea. He's not the kind of
No.
he's not the kind of straight that Andy would be into, right?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
No,
He's
not
too
at
like
all.
conniving and like slimy and like, oh, unsafe, really unsafe. And you know how there was that whole thing? Oh, okay. Wait, I'm glad I'm bringing this up. Put a pin in what I was going to say about Jesse and the gay guy sending him money. This is
Mm,
before I forget. Okay. So you saw the episode where they were going around giving the hall passes and who their hall passes would be.
mm,
And Jason's was Lady Gaga.
mhm,
There's a show by Benny Drama or Benito Skinner who called Overcompensating on Prime now. And I think it's 10 episodes. It's so good. It's so great. But it's all about how when Benny was in the closet and was pretending to be straight.
mhm, mhm,
And one of the jokes is he used to say Lady Gaga was so sexy.
mhm.
And it kills me that like this like delayed burn coming back to Jason because even when he said Lady Gaga, I was like, Lady Gaga is such a weird choice for
Yeah.
a straight man. Like it's just like I love her, but I'm just like, oh, all right, that doesn't. And then it's a joke for closeted gay man. It's like, Lady Gaga is so sexy. Like,
It's like a bit absurd.
yeah,
It's like
it-
at what point were you looking at her and like getting an erection? When was that happening? And like Lady Gaga is beautiful, but it's weird for a straight man to say that.
yeah. Like it only really makes sense for a gay man to say like Lady
Yeah.
Gaga is the hottest, sexiest thing because it's like, yeah, you don't really mean in that like typical straight guy way.
No, for sure. It reminds me of like when I was a teenager and I'd be like, I have all these posters of Britney Spears on my wall because she's so sexy and
Exactly.
she turns me on. And it would be like the most wholesome,
Yep.
like her like licking a lolly with pigtails completely covered up to the neck, like not sexy at all. Like the most like babysitters club fucking pictures. And I'm like, she's so hot.
That is hilarious because that's how you know it's not for the sex appeal because there
No,
are some hot posters you could have of Britney, but it's just like
right.
I love this album. That's the
No,
one you have a
literally.
poster of.
It's like only pictures of her face, nothing more. Like she's such a tease.
She's such a tease. Oh, that's amazing. Um, Anyway, okay, back to what I was saying about Jesse when he was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy.
Yeah.
So, there was the joke, not the joke, but like when Michelle goes, "Why is a gay guy sending you money?" One of the best lines you can throw out in a group. I'm like, what? So many follow-up questions. What? Brilliant. Andy was trying to get the amount out of Jesse. Like, how much did they send you? Because obviously, if it's a couple $100,
Right.
maybe it's a
Yeah.
birth. It was like Isabella's birthday or something. I don't know. But he wouldn't. Jesse wouldn't say the amount, but he was doing this thing where he was like trying to be coy with Andy because like maybe Andy wants to send him money and Andy couldn't get like where he was going with it. And finally, when he got where Jesse was going with, he's like, "I'm not sending you money." Like he seemed annoyed. He was like, "Get over yourself, please." Yeah.
Like, you're not that attractive, sir.
Like that you're not there's always the joke the gays are like they're trying to claim the ones that are the hottest. We know this is an
Hmm.
ongoing joke since like the 90s, right? Jesse, you're not one that they're trying to claim. Okay?
No.
They're kicking you back over. Like, stay out.
He's such a pure example though of like the guy that wants gay attention so bad. Like he's so desperate for gay attention and like for men to like fawn all over him so that he can be like, "You can look but can't touch." You know what I mean? And like none of us want to look nor touch. We want
That
nothing.
that is like the title of this episode. Jesse so badly wants gay attention.
Yeah, it's like we're actually good on you. Like
Yeah.
you're
No, it's
not
exactly
funny.
that. You can look but don't touch. And they're like, no
Okay,
one was coming over.
yeah. Can I not do either? Actually,
Yeah, can I not do either? I did hear, I don't remember who confirmed it, but I heard that the amount of money that Jesse did get was like $2,500. So
wow,
yeah, that's not just a little amount of money.
wow.
Hmm.
You know, I said earlier before we started that I don't like the show, and the thing is, it's not that I don't like it; it's that I have to find my in. Like, what is the thing about this show that I like? I like I like the whole like we are. It's like millennial hell. Like this is like millennial
Wow,
limbo, right? It's like
totally.
what we were told was the dream is that you end up engaged or married to some person with kids and you have like a house or whatever. And then you
Wow.
get there and realize that it's just like an American story or American horror story hell, right? And like stuff like that, I'm like, okay, I love like the weird, the sort of nuanced secrets that are in a straight marriage.
Yeah.
Like, why are you getting almost $3,000 from some gay guy? Like, that's the kind of shit I love. Give me more of that, and I'm
Hmm.
totally in for life.
Hmm.
I'm in.
Hmm. Hmm. That no, that was one of the best little mic drop moments. I don't even think Michelle wasn't even. I don't think Michelle like has it in her to know that she's about to be savage because she's just
No,
like
yeah.
not that person. But she meant it so earnestly. She's like, "Why is a gay guy sending you money?" And didn't know what like a ripple effect that would have on the show. I'm like, "Oh, you just kind of cemented the show for me." Like, why was a
Yeah.
gay guy sending you money? Okay, what a little tidbit to throw in here.
Well, I have to ask because I do listen, and I know that you kind of like go back and forth with your thoughts about the Jesse and Michelle of it all. And I
Oh,
really liked your take about how like he's doing his like reality star thing. Like he's really like he's he's like telling a tale. It's
oh
like
yeah.
he's got a beginning, middle, and end already figured out, and he's trying to lead us there. And he thinks he's so manipulative and smart. And I have to be honest, it is working on a lot of people. So I guess he's like kind of killing it. But if you can see through the bullshit, if you watch this show like a producer, I think it's very clear what he's doing. But I guess I'm interested, like, where do you fall this week?
Um, so I fall in the same spot. So this week we saw him go to his therapist appointment.
Hmm.
I'm putting that in quotes for those who, because I'm not 100% sure what it was. Notice he did not tell the therapist about how he was spreading the rumor about Michelle being a high paid escort.
Hmm.
No, he didn't. He left that out. But he did mention that Michelle cheated. And then he kind of sort of says, like, and then I ended up calling her a whore and like, whatever. And that screaming in the pillow, why do they do that to us? With the scream therapy, I needed to stop. It's so, I never need to see a straight man scream again in therapy, ever.
Honestly, I feel I'm at a point now where I'm like, unless this is a real breakthrough therapy session on
Thank
Bravo,
you.
keep it. I
Thank
don't I'm like not into the therapy sessions
Agreed.
helping move the story along. I'm not into that.
Agreed. I'm right there with you, buddy. I hate them. It's like it's like we can't always just use like a confessional. So what's another way for us to like tell the next phase of this story? So we go to therapy session, which no one in their right mind thinks you're going to have a true breakthrough in a therapy session that's being filmed.
Yeah, it's absurd.
You
Especially
know?
when it's like, when they'll randomly have like a really like one of those VH1 doctors that's just like on all
Yes,
the
they
shows and
like
it's like,
Erica's the therapist on Beverly
yes, yes,
Hills.
yes. Yeah,
Her,
yeah. Like the classic like celebrity, like rehab.
Like Dr.
Yeah,
Drew.
like
If you ever see Dr. Drew, please.
I'm like, if you've given therapy to Farrah Abraham and like Brett Michaels, I don't want you to be my therapist, you know?
Those teen, you guys are the ones who got me into Teen Mom, and those Teen Mom reunions. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Dr. Drew is a mess.
He's
Like,
like, I'm the father figure of all these girls. It's like, no, you're not, you
you are
fucking weirdo.
so not. He's also like so shady and like makes them answer like really fucked up questions about their sex life and like humiliates them. And finally they get old enough. They're like, fuck you, Dr. Drew. And they keep storming off stage. I'm like, respect, honestly, go fuck off. Um, with Jesse, I feel like we didn't get too much of Jesse this episode, but I still stand true. The problem is Michelle is just such bad TV. Like
Mhm,
every scene of hers, I'm like, oh my God, I don't care, Michelle. Like she talks in such a slow fashion and like there's just I lose interest. Oh, also an interesting thing I noticed because now Sheena's made her appearance this episode.
mhm,
Sheena has since come out on her podcast and talked about how she's been struggling. And I respect her for admitting it. I respect her for admitting like losing Vanderpump Rules was an adjustment. And like
mhm,
it's been hard. I noticed that the way Sheena talks, not just in the scene with Michelle, but also in the after show, the way she talks now, her OCD is showing because she talks like she needs to get all the letters out. It's almost slower
oh, yeah.
and more like pronounced, and it makes it. Oh, it's odd the way she's talking, but I'm like, oh, I fucking bet it's because she's just in her head spiraling. The reason
Mhm,
the reason I know this because I used to do that when I was like 10 years old, I had my OCD thing where I would go 1, 2, 3, and I'd hold my breath, and for like 5 seconds, I'd hold my breath, and then everything I touched and everything I said had to feel a certain way. It was OCD at its finest. I just didn't know that's what it was. And so I would talk very slowly so that the way my tongue felt in my mouth was like it's crazy looking back on it because my mom would make fun of me, Julie. Yeah. She would be like, "What are you doing? 1, 2, 3 again?" I'm like, "Hi, your daughter was having OCD like compulsions." And like you were just making fun of her. Like looking
she's
back
like
in
scrubbing your hands again.
yes. Like, oh my God. Looking back, I'm like, that's what that was. So I recognize it in Sheena, the way she's talking. It's so she's like in the after show, she's like, do you think she told that story? She also sounds like a Kardashian now.
Yeah,
Very much so. Like full
yeah.
on, like leaned into that voice. But she's having an identity crisis. She's admitted it. She's like, I have been I bet. Like Sheena, like no one checked on Sheena for real though. I mean, like from production. Like now she's feuding with Lisa Vanderpump too because she's got
I
something coming
know.
out in her book. I'm like, Sheena's not okay, you guys. Sheena was not going to be okay.
The minute I heard Sheena say that she doesn't speak to Lisa anymore, I was like, she's spiraling. To lose the show and to no longer be Lisa's favorite host or whatever, server, it's really like that for her is like world shattering. And yeah, the combination of her and Michelle talking, I was like, I'm going
Exactly.
to put my head through this TV. I
Exactly.
can't do it. And then Michelle over and over being like, there was a word she kept saying that I can't think of right now, but it was
Disaster.
like, oh, she's like, he's being disaster.
She
I
says
was
it
like,
to
I
him. It's in that scene. It's in that scene in fucking Santa Barbara where they're fighting. She goes, "You're a disaster." I'm like, stop showing it. They keep showing the flashback of it. I'm like, if you show it one more time, it makes me crazy, Troy. It makes me nuts.
what's wrong? What is wrong with her? Like,
Oh, it
what's
makes me
going
is
on there?
okay, but is English her second language? Like, I feel shitty talking about the way she talks, but she's a child of immigrants. I feel like she
Yeah,
said Persian,
times she does have what I perceive to be a Persian accent.
right? Me too.
I can hear a Persian accent in some of the words that she says.
Yes.
So, and I was thinking about that actually last night when I was getting caught up because I watched like two episodes in a row, and I was like, does she just have an accent? And that's what that is. But like the slow
The
the
slow.
slowness and like the there's like this dimness behind her eyes. Like there's like
Yes.
nothing there. Like it gives Courtney Kardashian, but Courtney's like a little even a little bit more awake.
No, it's the eyes. Yes, it's like everything. Her eyes don't like react to the whatever else is happening. Like she just seems
Yeah,
like not connected, like kind of like a robot. Just it's hard. I can't
yeah,
connect to her. So I'm never going to be like Jesse's better and like she, fucked him over. I'm never going to be on Jesse's side with that. But the reason why she's losing the audience is cuz she's just not good TV. Jesse
yeah.
unfortunately is.
Yeah, and I think that he knows to
Yep.
use that to his advantage. He's
Oh,
using the fact that like,
100%.
she doesn't really communicate well, she's not quick. I'm
100%.
not gonna say that I don't know her. I'm not gonna say she's not smart, but she's not quick.
Yeah,
And,
exactly, exactly. She doesn't
she's
have
not
she doesn't have reads, she doesn't have comebacks,
yeah.
she just, gets upset, and that's where it's annoying. You're so right. Jesse is using that to his advantage 100% because most, like,
Yeah.
narcissists do. They know that
Mhm.
they have, like, the personality that they can come in and, like, razzle-dazzle. That's why someone like a Michelle getting with the Jesse is so dangerous because,
Mhm.
like, this is so the potential of what it could be because, like, their
Yeah.
personality doesn't, like, overpower enough and then Jesse just had no respect. Jesse's not going to be good to anyone, though. I'm not going to subscribe to the idea that, like, the next person he gets with, he'll be good to. Like, please.
No. He needs it's because he needs to just be with a man.
100%.
Like, he needs to just, like, literally be with a man, and he would, like, chill out, I feel.
I
Uh
really love that. And I think you're right.
I do. I feel like he hates women. Sometimes like
Yes.
men just truly hate women, and it's like you you realize that there's like
Wow.
there's more to that. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like you shouldn't just despise every woman that you date.
Wow. That really speaks to like the guys chat, like the,
Yeah,
the
those men they
fucking
fucking
boys.
hate women.
Like,
They
and it's
don't
like
like women.
all they do is talk shit about their wives and their partners. And I said this, I know on the pod, I'm like, all these women did was fall in love with your ass. And now
Yeah.
you're like, oh, these dumb bitches, just every chance you get.
If you men like that, if you took away like if you stripped away sex and the objectification of like the woman's body, like all of the surface level stuff, they hate all the
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah.
Like they literally hate. Like Jax Taylor hates women.
Hates.
He
Hates.
loves having sex with them.
Yep.
He loves to look at them. He loves
Yep.
their feet.
Yep.
That's as far as it goes.
No, truly. No, he hates women.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. No, that's a worthy thing to point out, actually. But Jesse, see now, if I think about Jesse with the man, it like comforts me. I'm like, there you
I
go,
know.
Jesse.
Suddenly he's bearable. It's like, oh, he's just like a Miami gay. He doesn't really.
Yes, he's a Miami gay. That's totally the vibe.
He needs to be like rollerblading like on the coast. You know what I mean?
I have the best visual of him.
Like I just think that he's in the wrong life. He chose the wrong life for himself. And I really think it's like I have to say, like, I think he really does know. He's like, I know how to make Michelle look really dumb.
Yeah.
And like if you say stuff to her that catches her off guard, she just
Yep.
her brain just like freaks out. And when they were at the picnic table and he said the thing about the escort, he knew that she wouldn't be able to. She went into fight or flight immediately. She stood up, slammed her hands down, started screaming, pulling out her hair. Like there was no response. It was just like emotional,
Oh,
like
you
he
are
knows what he's
spot
doing.
on. You are spot on, Troy, because you even see him at one point. She gets mad. She goes, "I'm talking," and like raises her voice, and he smiles.
Yeah.
because he's like, got her.
He's like, I got her. She looks so dumb.
Yeah. Wow. No, he's diabolical. He's like full blown American Psycho Christian Bale energy, like full on.
No, he is. And it's the sick thing is that he's so aware of it. He's so
Yes.
aware of
Yeah.
like his charms or whatever he thinks he has. And he's like, the viewers are gonna love me.
Uh-huh. And he knows Michelle is not going to read exciting on camera. He knows what it's
Hmm.
going to take. He knows what it takes to do this. And
Yeah.
like that's the thing is that Michelle probably would just rather I would almost bet that Michelle would like to be off the show,
Yeah.
but she probably needs the money at this point cuz when she went on Watch What Happens Live, that was a weird combo. When she went on Watch What Happens Live, guess who she went on with?
Who?
Zach.
Oh, that's interesting. Did
Right?
Zach make her more fun?
Yes, Zach did because if he wasn't there, my God,
Yeah.
um,
Oh my God. Can
like,
you imagine?
are you kidding? Andy was like, I don't even. Andy loved Zach too. Like Andy was having
Yeah.
so much fun with Zach because I didn't realize it was Zach's first time, and he seemed super
Oh.
comfortable and like they were playing all kind of funny games with him, and he was just, he's just funny. Like he's an entertaining person to just
Hmm.
watch, right?
Hmm.
But what was I saying? She was on. What I? Oh yeah, what was talking about?
She was born like he made her more
He made her
lively.
more exciting, but when she was on Watch What Happens Live, she said something that was connecting to like the Jesse thing. Oh, that's what it was.
Mm.
That's what it was. Someone asked a question about like where she was living or how she's like paying her rent or, some rude question like that we love to ask.
Hmm.
And she said something about how she's been, she still does real estate, but then also this show pays me. And I was like, oh, I always know Andy doesn't like that. Andy hates when
Yeah, I
people say
know.
that. You tell he's like, don't mention. It's like it's a fourth wall break that they never want to happen. It's like we know they
Yeah.
get paid for the show, but don't tell people it's your source of income. Like we need people to think you've got other things going on and that like you don't even need the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Andy does not like that at
Yeah.
all.
So when she said that, I was like, oh, then you probably need this show to pan out
Hmm.
because at this point, you're probably going to be relying on it for some income since
Hmm.
she is going to, now she doesn't live with Jesse and Jesse has the house and she's got her own place or whatever it is. And that Aaron guy is just selling honey.
Like even when she honestly, even when he called her an escort, when he was like, well, you're an escort, you're a sex worker. And then like he knew like when he went to go grab her to do like to have another talk,
Yep.
he was like, yeah, that was a lie, not true. I didn't
Yeah.
mean it. Like
Yeah.
he knew exactly what he was doing. He just said it so that she would freak out. Like he's so like, oh, it's so sick to watch. It is
Yes.
very entertaining though. I was like, oh, now for some reason it just kind of clicked this week where I was like, I see now why some people are really obsessed with the Valley.
Yes. Oh, they are. Yes. Well,
Like it's really taken like a cult following.
I think too, like this season, the big difference, the big shift for me was like, oh, okay, wait, the Jax stuff is kind of like way darker than I
Hmm.
was willing to look at. So like this season, I was super excited for it, but seeing the reality of how bad Jax is made me like, okay, wait a minute, I don't know, this show's a little different now because Jax, it's not like funny, ha ha anymore. This
Hmm.
is like terrifying watching
Hmm.
him scream at Brittany before going into the rehab and not even wanting to go to the rehab, but clearly just going to the rehab because they told him you have to go or you're going to lose your job. But like, not, I don't know, just it showed me how much they've been hiding too for like protecting Jax. And I was like, oh, this is a little darker than I thought. So like
It's been
Jax
so
has a
nice not having him
I
there.
know. And so Jax is going to be
God.
making his entrance at some point soon and I'm like I'm actively dreading it. I'm
Like I
actively afraid of it.
no, I agree. Like when they were doing the activities and she kept having to like, you know,
Yes.
leave to uh answer his rage text, I was like, damn, like I feel like I'm in this group right now. Like all I want is for her to put her phone away and like I don't want to deal with him. Like I just feel
Exactly.
like he's
Exactly.
overstayed his welcome.
100%.
Like let us not forget why they were fired in the first place. That fucking preacher that they hired and Britney's racist hillbilly homophobic ass family. Like You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm already it's Jackson Brittany for me. Like I feel like Jackson Brittany just in general, I'm not interested in at all.
Yeah.
Jackson's just
Interesting.
overstayed his welcome. It's too much. I can't do it anymore. I have no interest in watching him
Agreed.
abuse her
Agreed.
or
Agreed.
put that fucking kid through hell. Like I'm just
Agreed.
like, this is not entertainment. You
Yeah.
fired him for a pretty good reason the first time.
Yeah.
Like we don't need him on this show, clearly.
No, I think that's been the biggest eye opener is I'm like, wow, honestly, Jax and Brittany are the ones I'm least even interested in because if I don't need to see that play out because we know in real time that he's still the same. He's still the same
Exactly.
guy. So like when he comes back, we know that if even if he tries to be like, oh, I've changed, whatever, we know it's all bullshit. So I don't want to like waste the airtime on hearing him and his bullshit. And he's got first chair at the reunion which is so infuriating because I'm like, he should have truly just been brought in for a segment and
Yeah.
that's it because he wasn't even there and he doesn't deserve this full-time job. Oh, it's so irritating. But without him there, I'm like, oh, I still very much care about the other storylines.
Yeah.
So they're all good. They're
1000%.
they're good on their own. Like they're good and they're entertaining on their own for sure.
Yeah, I even think that because he has been doing this for so long, like I think that he self-produces and
Oh
like
God, yeah,
even last year when he'd be like, "All right, we're all here, so let's have this conversation now. Let's talk about this now and get it out of the
yeah.
way. I'm mad at you because you did this, and then you're mad at her because it's like you're fuck off. You're a grizzled, gnarled old man at this point. Like we don't, you know what I mean? Like we don't go away.
Ooh, that is like
You're
those are some great adjectives. Grizzled and gnarled. That is so Jax.
he's like a barnacle. I just want to scrape him off and fucking throw him back into the ocean.
Gnarled. Oh, that is so good.
I can't stand him. I really did not realize how much I don't like Jax, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
be honest, like I don't like Brittany, and
I get it.
I don't like her.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I can appreciate Brittany when she's mad with her accent, like when she's upset and talking like when she can be funny. Like she has
Yeah.
funny moments like that. But watching the way the whole thing went down with him going to rehab, like watching this play out and seeing it is
Hmm.
very different than like hearing about it. And so then
Hmm.
seeing it, I'm like, and you guys kept cameras on him? Like you guys kept doing confessionals and like employing him?
Employing him, giving him money. Why?
Like,
Why?
you guys knew how bad it was more than we did because you guys have not shown us everything. But so you knew this was how bad it was. And yeah,
I think that they what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the way that they think they don't have a good read on how we view
uh, uh,
him.
could not agree more.
Like
Could
we
not
don't care
agree
about him
more.
as much as you guys clearly do, like the producers. It's like you guys like love him. We actually don't
Agreed. And
collectively.
I think that that's so true about like Alex Baskin in general. Because I feel like Alex Baskin, for anyone who doesn't know, Alex Baskin is the big time producer for Orange County, Vanderpump Rules. But Alex Baskin's the one who has that hot mic show, which I also think is so stupid. I'm like, why does he have the show? Like, why is he the
Yeah,
guy doing it? And like if he's trying to do like a Carlos King type of thing, it's embarrassing because like he's just not half as interesting.
right.
But he's also like so problematic and so not in tune with what we want. So, like, for example, with Vanderpump Rules, the season after Scandival, I said the only way for it to work is to not do it like they've done every other season because you can't do that. Like the group is fractured. It is going to be about making the show. But he thought he could just keep sticking them in rooms together and making them talk and being mad when like, what do you mean Ariana hasn't broken yet and given Sandoval a scene? Like, what do you mean? Like, come on, adapt. And then he just like scrapped the whole show because they're like, let's just get people who will do the same formula that we're used to using. And so I think that he's so out of touch and needs to be taken from the helm of these
Yeah,
shows because he's not he doesn't have a grasp on what we actually are interested in. I don't. It's like I was interested to see the Jackson Brittany thing. If you're going to give us season one, fine, let us see how it plays out. But to see how bad it really was, and I'm like, so you guys have known it was this bad for a long time because we couldn't have known. You guys did though. And now you guys can't hide it. And now you're trying to I feel like they're trying to manage their decision by bringing him back. So they're
Hmm.
trying to kind of do what they can to make Jax look okay,
Hmm.
even though it's nearly impossible to do so. But that's kind of how they used to always do it. Like Jax looked bad before, but he was still, fine for TV. But you've brought him back because Jax pitched the Valley and it was a great idea and it's fine. It was good. However, you guys are still leaning into Jax. You're giving him all these opportunities to do interviews and you're making sure he does Us Weeklies and stuff because you are going to get the criticism of why the hell did you bring him back?
I mean, I think that you just said a fucking mouthful with the Vanderpump Rules thing because that's always been like I was screaming from the mountaintops with a megaphone that whole time, being like, "There's no way that you could fumble a bag this great when you have taken this show. This show was gonna get canceled. It was so bad. It rose from the ashes like a phoenix and became the most talked about thing in the whole fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
You've The View and like Larry King and all these people talking
Yes.
about Scandival. Everybody's Whoopi Goldberg is ravenous for Scandival. And
Uh-huh.
you took that season and tried to turn it into like an old Vanderpump Rules season where they're going to get coffees and tasting water. Are you out of your mind? The fact that they didn't say we're breaking the fourth wall,
Thank you.
we're showing cameras, we're
Thank
showing
you.
boom mics,
Thank you.
we're gonna film this show and present it as a bunch of reality stars that are on a show, and because they're fragmented, and this is the time where we're going to show
Thank
everything.
you.
Like that was the dumbest. I think that like you're
Ugh.
100% right. Like he's got to go.
No,
He's
Troy, that was an exact we were just do it like a Teen Mom thing. The way
Yeah,
Teen Mom adapted, because there's just no way to not show. It's the show within a show. We're not stupid. We
yeah,
know that all the drama right now is going to be because of filming. We know
exactly.
that. So let us hear that conversation, okay? Let us
Yeah.
in on it as opposed to just watching you make them force these stupid scenes. It's just and then when he so specifically said in a quote, we will never do a show like that. We will never just fully break the fourth wall down. I'm like, why?
It's to your own detriment.
Why not? What the hell? What else do you have a show run for all this time for and not adapt in the most perfect time to adapt?
Yeah. When
Like,
and when you could have that show could have gone on for another 10 years
honestly,
had
if
they
you kept
adapted.
doing it, if you let us see them, and then yes, I'm sure it's a bitch to film because it's different and you're used to
Mhm.
doing the same thing. But Jesus, you guys, that season was so fucking bad, and they still got an Emmy nom, and they did
I
not
know.
deserve it. I was like, for that season,
I know. I know. That was one of, I think, in the history of Bravo, one of the biggest fumbles they've ever,
truly agree.
it
Could
was
not
really like
agree
a turning
more.
point. Like I
Ugh.
was like, wow, you guys are like really, really stupid and you really don't know what the public wants anymore. And like I mean, the Valley is such a great concept, like you said, it really is like a it's an undeniably great concept. Like you can't deny it. But it's I do think you're right. Like they're trying to grapple with the fact that they built this show around Jax and Brittany, and now it's like the public is not really feeling him, but this is his show and you did that. And I do think that
Yep.
they're either trying to make him look like
Yep.
not that bad, or the story is so titillating that you
Hmm.
just can't resist. You just have to know what happens because it is just so juicy. And it's like, sorry, it's not.
Yeah, look, we're
Like,
at the point where it's just dark.
yeah. Like watching Jax call Brittany fat and stuff is like not titillating at all. It's
And
like
also
just sad.
because Jax is just so intentional with the same things he says. It's like a loop. He's that guy that repeats
Mm-hmm.
the same lines. And so
Mm-hmm.
we've heard him say this same shit. We've watched him lie about things we know happened right in front of our eyes. Like when
Mm-hmm.
he's like, I've never called her fat. And we're like, okay, we can't. Are we serious? Like we've watched him lie, call himself a work in progress, absolutely be no progress whatsoever, and go back and start the same thing. We've watched it so much. Now it's not even funny. That's what I'm saying. This the only way for Jax to change would be like a true bottom. Like
Hmm.
lose a house, lose a family, lose a job, like lose everything because he's still surrounded by people asking him for his opinion and what do you think about this thing? It's like we shouldn't be interviewing him in the after show, you guys. We shouldn't be getting his
It's so
thoughts and
true.
his take on the fucking after show like he's one of the rest of them. Like if you guys
It's
really felt
true.
that he had a problem and needed to go to rehab, you don't keep employing him like this.
Yeah. And that is his bottom that he'll never the show is
Yes.
it's like he knows that as long as he's being asked to film this show,
Yep.
whatever bad decision that he's making, he's gonna be rewarded for it. And like, I hate to quote Bethany. I really do, because it's like so annoying. But she talked about this where it's like it's Bravo is like this loop of like being rewarded for poor decisions
Mm-hmm.
and your life crumbling, but your job is giving you basically stacks of money and diamonds and bars of gold
Yep.
for being
The
bad.
worst. Yep.
And like Jax is the perfect example of that, where he's being rewarded for being an abuser. And the
Exactly.
and then you're forcing us to deal with this man.
Bravo has created a lot of monsters and
Yeah.
they're not handling it right. You know, like Jax is one of your monsters that you've
Yeah.
created because you brought him back from being fired and you see that he's still a complete asshole and he's terrible and he's got a child now, so it's even darker than it was before.
Hmm.
And you still think that by giving him attention, even though he probably should have the attention, it's just going to eventually, we will, as the audience, just keep consuming all of the funny, bad moments because it's like we love to hate him. I'm like, we're beyond that now.
Right. Wait, this is extremely random, but did I tell you that so we have like a tour manager now, like a person that comes with us on
Love
tour to
it.
like help with whatever. And I didn't know that she had done like all these other people's tours. Like she was on like the Trisha Paytas tour and like she's worked with all these people. She was on Erica Jane's Pretty Mess tour, like the last one before. And that was my exact when she said that, I was like, wait, what? Like, of all the people, Erica Jane, I was like, did she pay you?
Yes. Important
I just
question.
have to know, did she pay you? And she said yes. She
Okay, good.
actually said that Erica was one of the nicer people that she worked
Oh,
with. I know.
okay.
I couldn't
Fine.
believe.
Okay.
I was like, okay. Well, speaking of monsters, I was like, oh my God, you were there. Like you saw the things. Like that's like, oh my, that's like seeing Moby Dick. Like Erica Jane during that exact time. Oh my God.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. So did she know who Erica Jane was ahead of time? Or is this like it was all fresh?
I think it was all fresh for her,
Okay.
which is probably for the
It's probably the
best.
only way you can do it, right? Like,
Yeah.
if there's someone who's like, "Oh my god, Erica Jane, oh my god," like, I don't think you could do the job. It's just too distracting.
No, it's too distracting. It's like disturbing. It's like, but no, she was like, yeah, she paid me and she was
Fine.
really, really kind. I couldn't believe it.
Fine.
Yeah.
That is okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm, like, disappointed in that, but okay,
No, I
fine.
know, I know, I know, I know. I was like, that's crazy. I don't think many people can say the same, but go
Right?
off.
Right? 'Cause, the first question, "Were you paid?" is the most important question.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
I'm like,
face it.
Marco just woke up in a cold sweat, but
Right.
sure.
Right? Right? Okay, we have gabbed, we have done the thing. We should
Yeah.
probably wrap it up or we won't shut up. Guys, if you want to check out Troy, I'll have all of his info in the description. But of course, Beyond the Blinds, check it out. Anything else you want to plug while I have you?
I guess just that our Beyond the Blinds is on tour right now. We just added like 12 more states to
Look
our
at
tour.
you.
I know.
12
Fucking
more
insane.
states?
Yeah. Yeah. For fall. So it'll be
That's
like
so
a fall like Halloween era thing. So yeah,
I love that. Okay, so check
Princess
out
on tour.
check out their tour dates and go
Yeah.
check them out near you if you can.
Yeah.
Are you guys? Did you guys already come to LA?
No, we come to LA next round, so it'll be like Octoberish, I want to say.
Done. I'll be there.
Yeah, for
Done
sure.
and done.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, on that note, guys, love you all so much. Mean it. And I will see you next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to She's Speaking with Emily Hanks. This show is produced, hosted, and edited by me, Emily, and brought to you in partnership with Cloud 10 Media. If you are looking for bonus content, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. To show some support, you can hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Another free way to support the pod, please rate and/or review on whatever platform you listen. It's free, and it helps the algorithm or something. You can also head to buymeacoffee.com/shespeaks and buy me a coffee or two. Make sure you're following me on all social medias. I am She's Speaking with Emily Hanks across all platforms: Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's it. Thank you guys. See you soon.